Hey everybody, this is CJ and welcome back to Bibles on a Budget. Today we are taking a look at the NIV Preacher's Bible from Zondervan. So this is in their black Leathersoft, so this is not real leather, but it is a verse-by-verse layout for easy navigation. So this is a Preacher's Bible in the New International Version. It comes with some of these features, so it comes with the NIV Comfort Print. It's verse by verse and it lays flat. And I purchased this from Ollie's. So if you're familiar with Ollie's, Ollie's has some really great deals on sometimes closed out products and also products that come from, that are like bought in bulk or something. I don't completely understand it, but I know that they have really good deals. And I got this Bible, normally $80, for $34.99 before taxes. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so let's take a look at the box here. So again, this box is huge. It takes up the majority of my frame here, but here's the box. Here's the side. Again, you got the features. It tells you what it is. It's NIV from Zondervan. On the bottom of the box, you can see that it says it is indeed black Leathersoft. Then here's the back. So you can kind of see some of the features here. So this will be like, if you're somebody who regularly preaches from the NIV, or maybe your congregation typically uses the NIV, then this would be good for someone who's a preacher. So here's some of the features. It has the complete text of the accurate, readable, and clear NIV. Matches page for page with the Comfort Print NIV Pew and Worship Bible. It's got a soft, durable, lay flat cover. It has 36 GSM premium European Bible paper. It's got a double column verse by verse format with 2 color page design, which is really cool. We'll look at that in a second. 3 satin ribbon markers, black letter edition. So again, if you're not a fan of red letters, there you go. It is line matched for enhanced readability, and it comes with Zondervan's exclusive NIV Comfort Print typeface. It is 9.5 print size. So there you go. Again, normally it comes in at $80. Down there it says, and again, from Zondervan. So without further ado, let's get this puppy out of the box and I'll show you what this looks like. So full disclosure, I actually have read out of this Bible. Most Bibles that I review, I've already read out of the version of that Bible, so I don't really read out of the Bible itself, but I have read out of this Bible for a little while. I read out of the Psalms and stuff. So here's the cover itself. The one thing that I'm not a fan of is, I don't know if you can see it, but some of my finger oils and stuff have mixed with this and kind of discolored it a little bit. I'm not really a big fan of that. I'm not a fan of that, obviously. But it's not bad. I love the color though. I love the color. The cover itself kind of reminds me of the black leather-like, or whatever they call it, from Holman in their CSB, that personal size I reviewed a few videos back. Kind of reminds me of that, but it's not bad. So as you can see, perimeter stitching, and this goes all the way from the front to the side to the back. Speaking of the side, you'll notice that the theme here, the theme colors, is black and silver on the outside. So here's the spine itself. So it says Holy Bible and NIV Zondervan. So super simple, nothing else really, just Holy Bible and NIV. And then on the back, you have that it tells you that it is Leathersoft. So if you're familiar with how Zondervan and Thomas Nelson does their Bibles, they always put their ISBNs and kind of what cover it is on the back. Some people aren't a big fan of that. I've learned to tolerate it. I don't really complain about it much for myself. Most of the Bibles I have already either does that or doesn't. So, all right. And another awesome feature is that this Bible is gilded, but it is silver. It has silver gilding. And then here's the ribbons. You have 2 silver ribbons and 1 black ribbon. All right, so let us look at the inside of the Bible itself. Try to see if I can get that straight. So inside you're going to have a vinyl paste down. So again, this is an $80 Bible. This is a preacher's Bible. So this is not a premium Bible, but you got a nice sturdy vinyl liner that is way better, in my opinion, way better than paper, obviously, because paper can tear, vinyl can't, unless you're super strong and really has, I don't know, sharp nails. I don't know. This is not edge lined. If you're familiar with that term, it just means the way that the text block is connected to the cover itself. So the durability, it probably will not last as long as something that's edge lined, but it will last you a while. And this vinyl liner and this vinyl end sheet, they are very durable. So this probably can last you a good while. I can't give you an estimate on how long. I know there was a brother who was asking me about that. So for those who are wondering, I can't give you an exact date. I don't want to say anything and then, be misleading or something. Another cool thing is you have this gilt line, the silver gilt line that runs all the way from here to the other side. All right. So here's the presentation page. Another color that you're going to see in this Bible is blue, and we already see it here on the presentation page. And then obviously with a lot of their Bibles, they always have Psalms 119, 105. Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. And then we get to the title page. Again, New International Version. This is the Preacher's Bible from Zondervan. And then you have the publisher's page over here, telling you when it was made, when it was copyrighted and such, and a little information about the text type down here. And then you have your table of contents. So you have the Old and New Testament right here in their orders, and then it also tells you it's got an alphabetical order of the books of the Bible on the next page. Then it's got its preface, and then table of weights and measures. So this is a pretty simple Bible. So you're not going to expect too much fanciness. So again, alphabetical order of the books of the Bible. Here's the preface to the NIV. And just to make clear, this is the New International Version 2011. This is not the 1984 edition. I know a lot of people love the 84 edition, but this is not the 84 edition. So just to be upfront and clear about that. So if you're somebody who loved the 84 edition, right now the 84 edition is not really being published or printed. There may be other places that do it, other publishers that have the rights to it. Like I know that there are certain publishers that have the rights to the 77 edition of the NASB. But as far as I'm aware of, and I haven't really done much research, but as far as I'm aware of, the 84 is out of print. So right now, every NIV you run across is the 2011 edition. So here's the cover page to the Old Testament. I love that it is in the middle and also has these little lines, and it's blue. Again, blue is the accent color in this Bible, and you'll see it here. So here's our first taste of the verse by verse double column layout. So again, verse by verse, you have these bold numbers at the top, and all the headings and all the pericopes are in blue. All the verse numbers are in blue. Each verse has its own its own paragraph. It's separate, and then also the names of the books are in blue. And then down here you also have textual footnotes. So here's just one for verse 26. The verse numbers are kind of small. They probably look very small to you, but they're not bad. The 9.5 reads very well. I can read it very well. And then way down here, this is, if you want to know when a new paragraph technically starts, and let me see if I can show you this because they're really tiny. If you look at 14, let me see if I can try to get that in the middle. If you look at verse 14, you see that tiny, tiny little P? That is called a pilcrow, and basically that marks a new paragraph. So there's that. And again, this is 36 GSM, so really thick. So if you happen to want to write on this, it's going to be very, very sturdy in terms of like writing surfaces and stuff. What I like about this also, again, there's a little blue line that separates all this stuff. These are mostly textual footnotes. These are not references. And you'll also, again, see the fact that everything, it seems, is picked out in blue, from the chapter numbers to the page numbers to the references to the pericopes and so on, except for like the things down here, the textual footnotes. All right, so let's go to something like the book of Psalms, and let me show you kind of what that looks like. Because what you're seeing here is, again, you're seeing a verse by verse, so it's not like large bits of text clumped together as like big paragraphs. And here we actually see one of our ribbon markers. This is the black one, so that's really nice. There's that. Let me find the book of Psalms. Well, here's the book of Proverbs, so both of them are very poetic in some way or another. So you can kind of see how they're arranged, and you can kind of see the formatting. But because of these, you know, you're going to have, because of the way that it's formatted here, you're going to have, you know, more ghosting and such, but it's not super bad. Let me go over here because we actually have our second or third ribbon here. There's a silver. So here's Psalms. Again, the poetic settings are such, and that you see more ghosting and such there. But if I go to something more prosy, let me try to make sure this is not getting damaged or anything. You'll see that, one, they're line matched. So if you look closely there, you'll see that these are at the same level. And the ghosting is actually very minimum, because of the fact that even though this is a verse by verse, it is still very, there's still a lot of text that blocks a lot of that extra stuff behind it. All right, so let's go to the New Testament. And again, I'm trying to see if I can get this ribbon to just stay. There we go. So here's the New Testament. Now let's go to the test whether or not this is a red letter. Again, this is not a red letter, but let me show you. Went back to the Old Testament real quick there. So here's Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 5. So here we go. Matthew chapter 5, and there is no red letters. This is only black letter. And you also have, again, these blue highlights. I love these blue highlights. The blue highlights are beautiful, and they're really, really neat looking. I really, really enjoy them. All right, so let's go to the back of the Bible so you can kind of see what's happening back there. And again, this Bible does lay flat, but it obviously, you know, when you start getting more weight on one side, especially if it's a newer Bible, it won't lay super flat, but you won't get this hump. And let me show you what that is. You won't get a hump of scripture, so it won't look like the like pages are sticking up. All right, so let's go to the back of the Bible. Like I said, you will just find the table of weights and measures. So there they are. So again, they have the biblical units, the approximate American equivalent, and the approximate metric equivalents. And so you can kind of see that for things like weights, lengths, dry measures, and liquid measures, and it kind of explains more here. But after that, there is literally nothing. You get another paste down liner here at the end. You get to see that gild line again, and then you got your vinyl in sheet there. All right, so what do I think about this Bible? Well, the NIV is not my go-to in terms of like Bibles. I don't know if I've said this or not multiple times, but I prefer something like an NKJV or something like that, which I have reviews of New King James Bibles coming up very soon as well. But I like the Bible. I love the gilding, the silver. Everything looks very slick, from the perimeter stitching to the silver on the spine, to the silver on the gilding, to the blue for the chapter headings and for the numbers and such. I think aesthetically wise, this Bible is beautiful. It's thin. It's not super big. It's thin, but it is a little big. You can put it in a backpack. The box itself makes it a little hard to carry around in a backpack. If you have a big enough backpack, you can. But let's say that this is the Bible that you want to take with you to church or something. You might not be able to fit into a bag or something if you use the box. If you use a case, maybe you'll have some way of carrying it around. So that's really nice. So I recommend this to somebody who, one, is a preacher, two, doesn't need fancy leather, who knows that vinyl is going to last them a good while, who preaches out of the NIV, and who loves verse by verse, because a lot of preachers love verse by verse. A lot of preachers, they want a Bible that just works. They may not need a Bible that's beautiful, but this Bible works and it's beautiful. So I highly recommend it for those folks. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review from Bibles on a Budget. And remember, the truth does not have to be expensive. See you in the next one. God bless.